just going to get some practice with our linear functions. Anytime we're looking for a linear function, for today at least, it's in slope-intercept form. That means it's going to be y equals something x, and then plus or minus something else. What part's that right there? Slope, yeah. So we got our slope goes in front of the x, that's the coefficient. And here, what's that called? Yeah, that's the y-intercept. The plus or minus in front of it depends on whether the y-intercept's a positive or a negative. If it's a positive, it's going to be plus. If it's a negative, we just put minus the number. So if it was -3 for a y-intercept, we would put -3. We wouldn't put plus -3, and we wouldn't put a minus -3. This first one here. One is not on your sheet, but we got a slope and an ordered pair. Our first step would be to find the slope. Found it right there. Our next step then is once we have the slope, we got to find the y-intercept. Y equals mx plus b, and we plug things in. Our y value is 9. Our slope is 2. X value is 8. And we're trying to find the y-intercept. Okay? Once we have that, multiply. That's a plus sign. Then you can either kind of at this point think your way through it, what you have to do to go from what we get when we multiply to get to the y value, or you can solve by doing opposite. So we subtract 16 from each side. Signs are different, so we subtract, you sign the bigger number. -7. So then when we write the equation, we got y equals 2x minus 7. All right, y'all, this one. Is correct. All right, so that's our equation. That's our function. To get that, if we do y equals mx plus b, we got y value is 5 equals 2 times 4 plus b. 5 equals 8 plus b. Y'all, we need to go from 8 to 5. To go from 8 to 5, we got to subtract 3. So that means our b, oops, I was writing 5. Our b, our y-intercept, is -3. Everybody good on that? All right, so that's point 1. The other thing we can do got two pairs, we got to find the slope first. So our y values in this case are going from 2 to negative 2, and our x values are going from 2 to 4. So we need to find slope by doing change in y over change in x. So our y values in this case are going down 4, going down it's a negative number. X values are going up 2. When the signs are different at this step, that means your slope's negative. If the signs were the same, with negative, that means you would have a positive slope. All right, so in this case, we got a slope of negative 2. Then we got to do just like we did with the previous problems. We got to find our y-intercept. So I'm going to use this point here just because it's got positive numbers. I got to use a negative 2, but still going to be a little bit better. So we got 2 equals negative 2 times 2 plus b. So we got 2 equals negative 4 plus b. This one might not be as easy to see by just looking at it. So if we solve by doing opposite, I add 4 to each side. So that means I got my y-intercept, my b, equals 6. So we got y equals negative 2x plus 6. All right, y'all try that one. Time you have a coefficient of 1, they leave off the 1 usually. So, but same idea. Y equals 1x plus 6, y equals x plus 6, same thing. This is just how the answer choice would probably look. So, same idea. We got to get the slope. So for our slope, we're going from 3 to 8 for our change in y, negative 3 to 2 for the change in x. That gives us 5 over 5, which is 1. Then I would use the one with positive numbers. If you do your math correctly, it shouldn't matter which one you use, but the positive numbers might be easier. So we got y equals mx plus b. So 8 equals 2 plus b. That one's a little easier to see. 2 plus 6 gives us 8. So that's where our 6 comes from. Okay? Any questions? All right, there's one other way you can kind of see these that gets maybe a little bit trickier and we sometimes make some mistakes on. So go ahead and get screwing up part of this. Sydney, what you got? Lacey?
Y equals negative 2x plus 9.
Kari. Sydney. Sarah E. Yeah, so we got y equals 5x minus 2. All right, so yesterday I saw a couple of y'all when it gives you the y-intercept, not having the y-intercept they gave you as your y-intercept. Yo, that should be the easy part of this. Minus 2 on y-intercept. You use the y-intercept as your second point. Use -2 with y-intercept value row. So when I do my change of y, I'm going from 7 to -2, and I'm going from -1 to 0 for my x values. So -2 is 5. From -1 to 0 is 1. 5 over 1 gives us our slope. Okay? Any questions on that? -7 to pop the 9 some of y'all were getting. Table. Pick 2 points. It doesn't matter which 2 points you pick, so I would go with the 2 that look easiest. You find your slope. Slope is change in y over change in x. So my y values are going from 6 to 8. That's 2. X values are going from 2 to 4. Also 2. So that means we got 2 over 2. What's 2 over 2? 1. So if we had the equation y equals mx plus b, I could flip that around and put the y equals on the other side of it, right? And have mx plus b equals y, right? Same idea. So using the table, that's a little easier. So my slope will be 1, mx, xm. Order doesn't matter for multiplication. And we got to have plus our b value and make it equal to 6. So 2 times 1 is 2. What do we add to 2 to get to 6? 4. So we got y equals x plus 4. And if I take any one of these numbers and I plug it in, 10 plus 4 is 14. If we plug in an x value, we should get the y value. Any questions there? All right, y'all try this table. Can't avoid negatives on this one. Yeah, we got y equals 1/2 x minus 5. If I were working this out, I would use those 2 points. I would use those 2 points. Those look like the easiest numbers to work with. Probably the positive numbers are going to be a little bit better, and like avoid a negative. So if we're going from -5 to -4, that's a change of 1. 0 to 2, that's a change of 2. So changing y over changing x, that's where the 1/2 comes from. Yo, what is this right here, though? Y-intercept, right? 0. That's the out. 1/2 times 0 is 0. To get to -5, I got to subtract 5. So, okay. Graphs still need a function. So we find y-intercept. Y-intercept's the easy part, probably. It's where it crosses the y-axis. So that means I'm going to have y equals something x plus 1. For slope, then, what are the R words we use? Rise over run. So I go rise, run. My rise was 2, run was 1. Rise over run, 2 over 1, 2. Any questions there? Graphs easy. We're doing pretty well with those so far. You just got to be careful with labels on the graph. All right, y'all try that one. Sydney? Lenny?
Y equals 1x plus 4. Y equals -4x plus 4.
All right, counting squares, not always the easiest from your seat or up on a board. But y-intercept's right there. That's a plus 4. So we got y equals something x plus 4. Now, this graph, as we move from left to right, is it going up or down? Down. When it's going down like that, that means we're going to have a negative slope. Then we just go our R words, rise over run, rise, run. That's 4, that's 1. If you're having a hard time counting the squares from your feet, you can always use the numbers. So we're going from 0 to 4 there for our rise. That's a distance of 4. 0 to 1, that's a distance of 1. So that makes a -4x plus 4. Okay? Any questions?